Old school RuneScape. The game where you set your own boundaries and rules to fit your own playstyle and achieve what you want your way. You can literally craft any account build you want using any methods available. Whether you enjoy PVMing, bossing or PKing, completing quests and achievement diaries, or simply just skilling and chilling, the choice is always yours. But what if it wasn't? What if you had no choice, no order, and no idea about what your next goal or task was in the game? Well, that's where I come in. Okay, before we get started, we should probably explain the rules for the account. Thanks to a certain collection logger, a new game mode was created back in 2019, known as Generate Task. This paved the way for all of us to start our own Generate journeys, which is where a particular plugin creator took it one step further and created a spin-off version of Generate Task. So first things first, we are playing as a hardcore Iron Man, which means we have one life. But if I didn't already hate myself enough, I'm making this even riskier. I've compiled a death forfeit wheel for the account for when we inevitably do die. This wheel consists of 16 forfeits that me and my Twitch chat made together. It's made from 4 different tier sets ranging from easy to extreme, but we'll get into that a bit later. Essentially, if we die, we spin the death forfeit wheel and whatever we land on, we do live on stream over on Twitch. I'd like to say this is new to me, but I kinda died on my hardcore Iron Man last year and shaved my head on stream. Yeah, I like to torture myself. So, I died on my hardcore, I DC'd at Gorillas, Jagex, thank you. No. Anyway, the way this account's progression works is via a website called Wheelism. Thanks to Idle, Wheelism keeps track of all of our progress with a special wheel ID specific only to us. The aim of the game's pretty simple. Spin the wheel, do the task. There are 5 types of task: quest, diary step, item, and clue scroll. There are also pets, but that comes like way later on. So the end goal for the account is to basically complete all 6 tiers of Wheelism, hopefully without dying. Which brings me to my last rule. To maintain the high risk aspect of this series, we're always going to try and complete tasks in the most high risk, high reward way we can. As long as it's logical and doesn't break any rules by completing other tasks. For example, if we need to obtain a rusty sword for the achievement diaries, we would have 3 options: pickpocket hand members, the fishing trawler minigame, or the crazy archaeologist. In this situation, we would go to the crazy archaeologist. And one last thing, disconnection deaths will not be counted towards ending the series. The only way this can happen is by me getting PK'd or making a mistake and dying. I know this is a lot for you guys to take in, and there are a few things I haven't covered, like a couple of exceptions with diary steps that haven't been added to the wheel. So I'm going to leave a link in the description to the Wheelism website for you guys. Don't worry though, I've basically covered the main rules of our series here, and anything I've missed out we'll get to when we cross it in-game. So, without further ado guys, let's get started on the high-risk Wheelism series. Okay guys, here we are in Lumbee. We've just got off Tutorial Island. Let's bring the wheel up quickly and have a look. So I can see Winstod Unique, Easy Clue, Tree Gnome Village, Death Plateau, buy a newspaper, slay a cave bug in the Lumbee Swamp Caves, and restore prayer points at the Demonic Ruins. For our first task, we get Tree Gnome Village. Let's jump right into it. Here we go guys, good luck. We started off by grabbing some free runes from the magic tutor in Lumbee and made our way over to the Stronghold of Security for GP. After checking the quest requirements, we realised there was basically nothing we could train besides combat, so that means we can't even fish food. We picked up some cooked meat from Barbarian Village and made our way down into the Stronghold, which is where we made our first mistake on the account. Yes, we made the mistake this early on. We completed an easy task in the Varrock area. That was to reach the 2nd level of the Stronghold of Security. So to make things fair, I basically just dropped any GP that we would have earned past the 1st floor of the Stronghold. This was 7.5k, and we are not allowed to return here until we roll this again on the wheel in the future. My bad. So I took our 3k and did what any logical person would do and spent it all on runes and didn't get a staff. I have no idea what was going on here, guys, honestly. I even made a second mistake straight afterwards and browsed Thessalia's store for the pre-scouting cape. So just like the Stronghold mistake I made, I dropped the items we bought and made sure this wasn't ticked off on our Wheelism list. We won't be visiting the shop again until we unlock the diary task later on. We used our runes to get 12 mage and 9 combat, safe spotting women. I did this in case we got any clue scrolls, as we're allowed to stack caskets for future tasks, but no luck. At this point, I'm out of runes in GP. I decided to start training melee on the dummy by Varrock East Bank while I figured out a new plan. If you didn't know, hitting a dummy will always give 5 XP per hit up to level 7, so it was our fastest way to get 7 attack quickly while we planned our next move. I homed early to Lumbee and grabbed some free runes from the Mage Shooter to quickly finish off 13 Mage, which unlocked Fire Strike. This is crucial for the early stage of our account to safely kill anything, including the Khazar Warlord at the end of Tree Name Village. Now that this was done, I went and started training 10 of every melee stat on goblins before my next plan to get some cash for runes. I had to drop this beginner clue. We had to bring Charlie leather chaps, which can only be crafted or bought from the Ranging Guild. We don't have the level for either of these things, and we can't enter the Range Guild until we unlock it via achievement diaries. So for now, no casket. I banked these items from goblins, which we'll need for clues and quests later on, and grabbed some more cooked meat. Then I made my way back to goblins and chickens. We picked up another beginner clue with a step we could do, so I held on to this for now and finished up with 10 attack and strength, 7 defense, and 6 prayer. Now, this is where things got more serious. With a couple extra HP levels, it was time to bank everything and go into the wilderness for some steel plate legs. For now, this will be our way of obtaining GP for runes and supplies. To get these, I had to go to the ruins north of the Graveyard of Shadows in the wilderness. Once we have the plate legs, we can sell them to Louis Legs in Al-Kharid for a store price of 600 GP each, which is roughly 15k in invent if I sell them in increments of 5 per world. This was the first dangerous thing we've had to do so far. Not only were we in the wilderness on stream, we also had to be careful not to get hit by green drags on the way, and we had to watch out for spiders and skeletons that kept attacking us while we hopped worlds for the plate legs. It's all good though, we made it out alive and got to Al-Kharid safely. On the way to Louis, we grabbed a sapphire and emerald from the gem trader for later, and finished up selling our plate legs for just over 9k. While I'm here, I'm just going to buy some kebabs because they're so cheap and they heal loads of HP as well. Okay, I've learnt from my mistakes earlier. I've bought a Staff of Fire along with 400 Fire Strike cast worth of runes, and I've saved myself 4k left over as well. So very quickly, I've made my way over to the Moss Giants on the Isle of Souls to train Mage for 2 reasons. Alongside the quick XP, Moss Giants drop Big Bones, which we can use for prayer XP, and more importantly, they drop Law and Cosmic runes. These are going to be super useful for us when we can enchant jewelry and unlock teleports via achievement diary tasks on the wheel. So I think I'm going to stay here until we run out of runes, at which point we'll be ready to finally do Tree Name Village safely and complete our task. And there is our first cosmic runes on the account, guys. Okay, 16 magic and 15 HP. 17 magic, we can now cast Wind Bolt. 18 magic. Ooh, nice, our first little stack of nature runes for the account. I also forgot they drop in sold heads. 19 magic. And there's 16 HP. We are finally moving away from being able to get one shot. There's 20 mage. We can now cast bind. They're stacking, lads. 6 more nats. And there's 21 mage. And our first mini milestone on the account, we have unlocked low level alchemy. So this is good for 2 reasons. We can obviously cast low alch on items instead of selling them to the general store, but it's also a Wheelism task to cast low alchemy at the Fountain of Rune in the wilderness. So we can now do that as well when we get it in the future. And there's 8 prayer, 22 mage. Okay guys, we're about to hit 17 HP. I think I'm going to go and do Tree Name Village now. I feel a little bit safer, and we're definitely going to be able to kill the Khazar Warlord at the end of the quest. There's our first skilling level on the account, level 2 woodcutting, so we couldn't avoid this one. We have to get 6 logs to finish the quest, but yeah, I just thought I'd include it. There's the first orb on the account. Let's get down here quickly before I get my ass handed to me. Okay, time to get the last orb. I'm going to try and set the safe spot up here for the Khazar Warlord. I think if we tank 1 hit here, eat this, run over to this tile that I've marked, and I think tank 1 more hit here, we should lock him into place there. Okay, nice. So that's kind of why I wanted to get 17 HP, or a little bit just higher combat stats in general, guys. So we had to tank at least 1 or 2 hits there to get the safe spot set up. And at 10 HP, it's a little bit too risky. But we've done it, and that should be quest complete and our first task completed. Okay, there we go. There's the second orb of protection. Khazar Warlord is dead, and yeah, we can make our way back and complete the quest now. Also, I forgot to mention earlier on, I picked up 2 random pieces of meat in my invent. You'll see that I do this a lot as we go through the game. I usually just pick random items up for quests and store them in the bank for later. There we go, guys. Quest complete. 11,000 attack XP, which brings us to 29 and task completed. It's time to spin the wheel. Here we are, guys, back at the wheel. It is time to mark Tree Name Village as complete. and it has been replaced with Druidic Ritual. So, on the wheel we have easy clue, buy a newspaper, slay a cave bug in the Lumbridge Swamp, restore some prayer points in the Demonic Ruins, Wintertodt Unique, Druidic Ritual, and Death Plateau. And it looks as though we are going to get Druidic Ritual. Okay, quick recap time again. This is a very nice early task to knock out as it grants us access to the Herblore skill, which we're going to need to use for a ton of quests in the future, along with needing to make potions. Both of these things are going to allow us to have loads more tasks added to the wheel now too, so it really helps open up different paths for us on the series. So, let's go. Alright, I've got the raw rat and bear meat from earlier on. I think I told you guys I pick random stuff up as I go along, so we've got those. I've got the beef now as well. I'm going to head over to a bank in Burthorpe in the road trader place or whatever it is and see if I have chicken. Do we have any? Oh, we do. Okay, yeah, this is why being a RuneScape hoarder comes in handy, guys. Right, let's go start the quest. Made it to Stonehenge, and quest is started. Okay, while I'm here, I'm going to pick a bronze 2H up. Can I afford iron? No, yeah, just the bronze 2H for easy clues in the future. Gonna grab a quick cup of tea for quest items in the future as well. I actually do have a hoarding problem. Help! Time to turn all this meat blue. I have no idea what would make it go this color, but yeah, that's done. So I'm gonna head back, and that should be quest complete. Second ever task on the account finished. 4 quest points in total, and access to the Herblore skill, giving us 250 Herblore XP. So we should get level 3 from this, which means we can now make attack pots. But more importantly, it's wheel time. Alright guys, let's mark Druidic Ritual off as complete. First 1% on the entire series is done. Priest in Peril has been replaced here as our quest. So let's see what we get here. Please be nice to me. Please. Oh my god, no. Oh my god. Restore some prayer points at the Demonic Ruins. That is in the Deep Wilderness again. So wish me luck. Okay guys, that is the end of the first episode of the High Risk Wheelism series. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you could leave me some feedback or have any questions, comment below, or just leave a like if you want. I'm really enjoying this series and account at the moment, and I'm really excited for the next episode. We're going to make a ton of progress, so be sure to look out for that. Everything you see in these videos is all done live over on my Twitch channel. If you want to say hi, I'll link it in the description. Just be aware there may be some spoilers there. But for now guys, take it easy, and I'll catch you soon.